So here we are for Friday night 9-ball again, and excuse me, let's have a look at the bracket. The tournament's just up and running. Race to 7 in the winner's side, remember, and race to 4 in the one loss side. It's a handicap tournament, and we have Mr. Bill playing Andre Hagus, Larry has a bye, Potman has a bye, Senny has a bye, and Wizard Cheat is playing WizKid in the second round. We've got Magician playing Bedhead in the first round. Magician's getting 7 and out. Z Karaoke's playing Yamaguchi Taru, and Z Karaoke's getting 6 and out. And we're going to go in and watch that match. Now I need to get rid of this bloody XSplit Gamecaster thing that's on the screen. Hang on a minute. Right, I think that's that fixed. Right, so Z Karaoke is player 1. He's getting 6 and out. So he's on the 6 ball right now, and he really needs to get this to get off and running. And he's missed it. Well, don't say that wasn't a great chance for him, because Yama doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He has made the odd mistake last week, if I remember right, but he certainly doesn't miss very often. Brings it round nicely for the 8. You can go the other side or come inside. He's come back inside with lots of left English. So Yama snatches the first rack, but that really should have been Z Karaoke. And he's not going to get a better chance than that, getting 6 and out. He's just really got to take these opportunities when he gets them. He's not going to get very many, that's the problem. And Yama, remember, only plays with a house cue, so he's restricted from having a powerful break. He doesn't have a jump cue either. So his dry break, Z Karaoke's in again. He's got no shot in the 2. He's having a look at the angle in the 9. And that's, well, that's certainly going to have to be made. But it might be worthwhile having a go. Well, a good effort at it. Now, how's his luck? Well, he's okay. He's managed to get cover, and Z Karaoke might have another opportunity in a minute. Yama looking to kick in behind the 2. Now, I don't know what angle he can make from that, but if he can kick it full in the face, he might be able to tuck the cue ball in behind the 6. That'd be asking a lot. And of course, remember as well, the miscue threshold is larger with the house cue than it is with a standard cue. So it's ball in hand again. So here's another opportunity in this rack for Z Karaoke, and he's going for the 2-7 combo. And he's missed it. Now, that can tell you one or two things. Z Karaoke was looking to get a rack in the board there and wasn't confident enough to try and run the rack, but as it is, he's going to have to dig himself out of a problem here. Yama's went for the 2, missed it, but he's got cover. Now, of course, let's just check the little doodle machine. Now that 3-7 combo is the one that's going to be obvious. But Z Karaoke's kicked out or jumped out the snooker. And I'm not sure whether there's enough of that 2 shown for Yama to actually cut it in. Yeah, not enough. And he's knocked a 7 in though. And that keeps him at the table. Managed to flick that. Still snookered in the 2 ball though. So here we go. Having said that Z Karaoke's not going to get many chances, this is his 3rd opportunity in the space of 2 racks. Now this time you feel he's got to go for the run out. He's had 2 attempts. This is going to be a 2nd attempt at a combo here. Now, okay, if he gets it, he looks good, but if he doesn't, well, he's got it this time, but maybe not the wisest tactic. But having said that, though, it gets him off the mark, and that's probably the most important thing considering what happened in the first rack. I think Z Karaoke's came up dry. Difficult to read the angles on these shots when you're really close at them. When the object ball and the cue ball so close, it's really difficult to judge the cut. And Yama's missed it. So now, judging by the way things are going, is Z Karaoke going to try and play the 2-6 combo, or is he going to play the 2 into the middle? Well, I think that shot there, if he'd got the cue ball out into the middle of the table again, it would have probably told you he was going to try the 2-6 combo. Needs to watch the scratch here if he cuts this 2. Dangerous scratching in off the 6 ball there, but managed to miss it. But now he's got a tough cut in the 3. And the cue ball's running away the wrong end of the table. Now, something that Z Karaoke needs to judge is the fact that Yama doesn't have a jump cue, so he can only kick at shots. And that was a good shot. That's where any other player who has a jump cue would have a go at jumping that and knocking the 3 in. But Yama can't do that. Can't do that with a... Very unlikely to do it with a playing cue, let alone the house cue. And he's managed to hit the 3, but just left it on. Now let's see this time if Z Karaoke can get the run out. Now this needs to be a good shot. I think the 4 goes past the 5. Yeah, there's a full pocket there. And he's overcut it. Well, you really got to cut out any mistakes that you make. And this is a chance for Yama to snatch a rack here. Plenty of room just to drop behind that 8 and come out for the 7. So shouldn't be any problem now. Straightforward enough. You can't say Z Karaoke hasn't had chances early on here. He could have been 2-0 up. As it is, he's finding himself 2-1 behind. Once again, a dry break from Yama. The 2-ball. Now that's Z Karaoke getting careless. He needs to take his time. Let's see what Yama can do to get this 2-ball into play. The 2-3 combo looks the best bet, but he's playing a lot of right-hand English to try and come over. Well, no, he's not. I thought he was going to try and come over. Looks as if he's leaving the bank. Looks a good angle for a bank as well. Bank into that left middle pocket. And he slams it in. And that is actually as hard as you can hit a ball with the house cue. And this has all come about from a very poorly hit 1-ball by Z Karaoke. Open pocket, left it hanging. And you can't do that against this guy. Now he might be slightly straight, but he can actually just run through a bit of running English and just push the cue ball off the top rail slightly if he wants. Play that 6-ball into this right middle. Well, he looks as if he's now drawing back, playing it into the left middle. No, he's managed to create the angle and stun it up. It's a good shot. Without getting behind his shot, it's difficult to see exactly what angle he had, but he made the most of what he had. Got it sitting pretty on the 6-ball. Almost overcut that there. I always remember though, when a player's getting 6 and out, these matches can turn very quickly, but it won't do that if Z Karaoke doesn't start taking these opportunities. And the one thing you can't do is just throw away an open table and leave this guy in, because he's just going to keep potting balls all day. So Yamaguchi Taru leads by 3 racks to 1, and just a reminder where these guys are from. Z Karaoke is from Brazil, and Yama, of course, from Japan. Now it must be, let me think, it's about 20 past 8 UK time here, so it must be well into the middle of the night in Tokyo or wherever he is in Japan. They're at least probably 7 or 8 hours in front of me, so that's 20 past 8, 20 past midnight's 4 hours. Probably about coming up at 4 AM in the morning or just after it. And Z Karaoke hasn't had a shot since the first shot he played in that last rack, which was on the 1-ball. And he might not get a shot in this rack either. And this is 9-ball top drawer. When it's played at this level, when you make a mistake and the opponent gets in and he runs a rack, and then he breaks off, gets a ball in the break, and he runs the next rack, you can't get any more punishment than that. The one thing Yama's got as well is a good touch and a good pace, usually. When he's in, he'll make the most of it. And it sounds simple, but when you're playing this game, some guys spend a fair bit of time adjusting their mouse and trying to get everything set so they get the feel for the shot. The one advantage, though, I think that Yama has, the fact that he's playing with the house cue and there is a limited ability with the house cue, certainly power-wise, it certainly can probably help your control of the shot. That plays a little part in it. But there's a lot of guys who don't spend enough time messing with the mouse to get the sensitivity right down so that it's much more controllable when you're playing a shot, when you've got a confidence to play shots and get control of the cue ball. But anyway, there's good evidence that Yama has that touch. He's now leading 4 racks to 1. Got another ball in the break this time. Even though he's soft breaking, he's managed to get a ball in the last 2 racks, and he's managed to make the most of them. So from the 3 to the 4, up next to the 8 ball, he's then going to have a choice. Provided he gets the 4, and his choice then is how he gets onto this 5. He can just play the 5 long and leave the 6-7 combo, or he can finish this side of the 5 and try and drop the cue ball into the 6. So he's going to leave it long and just roll the 5 in and try and get as straight as he can on this combo down the rail. And this is where you've got to again control the pace, because you don't want that 6 ball to run away. And he's played it well, and a perfect angle in the 6. Just a little bit of dragging the cue ball just to kill the pace a bit and come off the rail and out. But certainly Z Karaoke is learning the hard way. And this is in matches against players of Yamaguchi Taru's class. This is where you get found out. And if you know that a player doesn't have a jump cue, then you have to play accordingly and also not miss balls. Now there's Yama got another ball in the break, and he can probably cheat the pocket in that 1 ball past the 2. That probably will go. So Yama now leading by 5 racks to 1. And he's managed to cheat the pocket. He's on the 2. And I'm afraid this is looking ominous for Z Karaoke. Well, no sooner have we said that he finally misses one. I think he didn't have enough angle there, so he had to stun that as hard as he could and rattled it in the jaws. Well, Z Karaoke's knocked to 8 ball safe. Well, it's just off the rail, but he's not good shape in the 3, so straight away he's got problems. Played the banks and he kissed the 9 in. Well, he's managed to get away with that one. Take whatever you can get when you've just lost the last 4 racks. So he's now trailing 5-2. Now remember, any of those money balls that get potted off the break, they get respotted in the middle of the table, just at the head of the triangle. Z Karaoke has come up dry, left the 1 ball on again though. Not a good angle. You're going to have to play this with a lot of right English or just roll it in dead weight. And he just made it. Again, that is all down to very good touch. He's tightened the rail, but he's got the angle in the 2 to at least get the cue ball closer to the 3. Now, how does that look? Well, again, there is an angle, so he can stun across with the 4. Now, the question is, though, does the 4 go past the 9? I think it does, but it's tight. Let's have a look. It does go, but you've got to play an accurate shot to get on that. He might try and run into the 4 here. Well, it's anybody's guess what he's trying here. He could be playing the billiard onto the 9. It looks like it, because if he'd gone farther over to our right as we look, he may well have played the 4, but he's played the billiard, and that was good thinking and well played. He's now leading 6-2, sitting on the hill, breaks off in rack number 9. This time he's got no joy, but Z Karaoke knows that he can't afford any more mistakes, and while he's doing that, he has to win the next 5 racks to win this match, which is a tall order. And he's going to have to jump himself out of this one with the looks of it. I don't know how Yama can hold for this 2 off the angle and that 1. He's got the cue ball running. How's his luck? Is he going to run into the 4 and 5? Well, that's ended up okay. Clean shot in the 2. The only problem is getting onto the 3, and the 4 doesn't go past the 5, I don't think, so he's got work to do here. He's going to win the match at this visit. And he's now into his extension, so he needs to get a move on. Gonna have to shoot it, and that's why he's rushed into the shot, taking far too much time there. But I don't think he'll be too worried. All the pressure's on Z Karaoke to try and run this table, so he's now faced with the same prospect of trying to nudge the 3 out, which he's managed to do and get a shot on it. He's still got the problem of the 4 ball. Probably just going to smack the 4 ball onto the 7 and play the 4-7-5 combo. Now let's have a look and see, is that going to the jaw, that 5? Well, that's what he played, and that there, I would suggest, may well be his last shot in this match. Well, that's the only thing that could go wrong there, was where the 4 was going to end up. So now it's finished. Again, what looks to be a good bank. It could be a single bank or a double back across the table into either middle pocket, but it looks to be sitting nice. And it goes in again, nice and clean. Not the best of angles in the 6. The main problem there's where the 9 ball is, so he's going to have to get a lot of draw into this to avoid the 9, and he's done that well. And just drop in behind the 8. So this has been somewhat of a no contest. Z Karaoke probably in the whole match played about, what, I think the shots he played, you could count in your 10 fingers. I don't think he got any more shots than that. And the shots he did get, didn't make the most of them. And Yamaguchi Taru wins the match by 7 racks to 2. Well, that was quick. So, let's get this bracket fixed. Get the clock set to 30 seconds for the refresh. Well, that was a first round match, remember. And we've got another match still going on, which is Mr. Bill against Andre Hagus. And Andre's getting a 7 ball, and he's leading Bill by 5 racks to 3. So there could be a bit of an upset here. And Bill at the table, trying to jump and pot the 1. And the 7 ball sitting down pretty much over this bottom left hand corner pocket. That's Andre's extra money ball. Trying to hold at the top end, which he's done. And it's going to be a 2, then a 3-4 combo. He's got to have the same problem here. Just got to play this where the 3 ball isn't going to run away and run safe. So he's just got to get the pace of this right. And that's where the problems start. He needed to probably draw off that to get the cue ball away from any further contact. If he'd drawn away, he would have had a clean shot in the 3 there. He's managed to get it into the middle. And now it's going to be a long 6-7 combo, and that 7's going to the jaw. So he's got to make this, and he's got it. So now there's a, well, I must have missed the, it was I thought it was 5-3 in the bracket. It was actually 6-3, or maybe the bracket hadn't updated. Well, that was quick as well. Andre Hagus has beaten Bill by 7 racks to 3. So Bill, along with C Karaoke, moves over to the 1 loss side. So that's been 2 quick matches in the first round. Right, so the second round is up and running, apart from the fact that there is still another first round match going on. Magic Q is getting a 7 and out against Bedhead, and Bedhead is leading by 4 racks to 2. And Yamaguchi Taru is now playing Potman, and Potman's getting the heaviest handicap of all. He's getting 5 and out, so that's where Yama could have a problem. If he makes the odd mistake, Potman might be able to take advantage of the handicap. You've got Andre playing Larry, and Andre's getting 6 and out, so there's dangerous opponents here getting heavy handicaps against these 2 strong players. So it'd be interesting to see what will happen in those matches. What we're going to do is we're going to nip in and have a quick look at this last first round match. Bedhead is, well, Magic Q's cut the lead down to 1 rack. So Magic Q, player 1, getting 7 and out. 6 ball goes into the left hand middle. I think the cue ball just popped out behind that 5 ball, so he's on the 2. And that was a poor one. If you're going to do anything here, make sure you overhit it. That way the cue ball had plenty of room on the right hand side of the table. He's kicked to 2 and scratched, so Bedhead, a 2,000, well, let's say 2,300 player. He's got ball in hand in the 2, 3 balls in the middle of the table at the top end. You'd expect him to run out. And straight away, he's left it way short. Not a good positional shot. have to dig out a fine cut in the 3. And this time he's recovered his position well. Sitting pretty good in the 4. He can drop off that right hand rail. Well, I think he's got 2 choices. He can either play the 5 into the left hand middle or come back across the table and play it into the same pocket as the 4. So he's played it short. And I think, again, he's got slightly the wrong angle in the 5, so he needs to play it. Well, he needed a bit more English in that to get that cue ball to come down the table, and he didn't. I don't think he played it with anything. That's why he sat there looking at the 7. Again, for a 2,300 player, you'd expect him to play a much better positional shot than that in the 7. And now he's in danger land here, and he's got away with it. Dangerous territory, that's what I'm looking for, because Magic Q's got the 7 ball. Now, has he got a jump cue as well? I think he has. Just lining up the angle that he has to hit this 7. And now he's chosen the jump cue. And now he's got to go over the 8 ball. So this to tie the match up. Didn't go over the 8, so again his chance might be gone there. So that was a bit of good fortune for Bedhead there, finishing behind the 8 ball. Thing is as well to bear in mind is a lot of these guys, they're probably either at school, at college or whatever, or at work during the week, and they don't really get a lot of time to play the game, so they're actually doing their warm-up while they're playing the match, and that's why Bedhead probably missed that 9 ball. He's struggling a wee bit to find the pace in his shots by the look of it. So a thin cut or a bank. The bank looks a better bet here, to be honest with you. I got it clean. Where's the cue ball? Cue ball's fine. And we're all square. 4 racks all. Well, the one thing you don't want to do in the next rack is break off and scratch. So dare I say it, balls are all open, ball in hand. Roll the 2 into the top right. Leave an angle on the 4 ball on the bottom rail here to get that cue ball back up the table for the 5. And you'd expect him to get that cue ball going that direction. And if he goes that direction to go there, he's in danger of hitting the 8 ball. And he's come back the way. And again, that's a good angle in the 5. Now, the problem is he needs to play a delicate shot here if he's going to leave a shot in the 6 ball either into the middle or into there. And he's managed to hold it. Again, I thought he had too much angle. I really should have went up to the top of the table to have a look. So this makes it a lot easier. As long as he doesn't go in off in the middle here. And he's avoided that. So here's the crucial shot. Getting on the 8 ball. 8 ball doesn't pass the 9. So he's got to get it into one of the other 5 pockets in the table somewhere. Looking to run past it. Well, again, he's made the mistake. And he's got away with it. So, Magic Q's getting chances, albeit slim chances, but he's got a chance to cut this 7. And again, he needs to be careful. If he goes all out for this, he could scratch if he gets that cue ball running. So this to take the lead. He's missed it. He's avoided the scratch. And it's left another pressure shot for Bedhead. You're going to have to pull out a good one. Well, you can do nothing else here but play the cut. I don't know what he's doing. It looks as if is he playing the bank or is he playing the cut into this bottom right? Well, he tried the bank. It'd been much better if he'd went for the pot, because all he's done is just teed up the 7 anyway. So Magic Q, a fairly easy 7 ball to cut in. Oh dear, well that's no excuse for that, I'm afraid. That is an absolute sitter. But with this 7 ball being in the pocket, it's all about judgment of pace again. He's played that well, but that was no excuse for that miss there, Magic Q, I'm afraid. You can't do that. So, from staring at a 5-4 lead, he's now looking at a deficit. Bedhead breaking off in rack number 10. No joy. Half a shot in the 1 ball here for Magic Q, but again he's got a better opportunity of laying a snooker here if he wants. Let's be honest, he's got no chance of running out here. That 3 ball's blocked up with a 7 and the 8, so he's tried to play some sort of a safety. He's not achieved that. And it looks to be a 1-2 combo. Well, I would reckon that Bedhead here, the best thing to do is just pot the 1 and get yourself down the bottom of the table here for a shot and a 3 to hook Magic Q. And he's trying an elaborate shot to try and move the 3, but you really just got to take your medicine and go, you know, play a good safety. And this isn't ideal for a good safety, unfortunately, where he's left the cue ball. Looks as if he's... Well, he can't play the bank because the 5's blocking that. Well, he's fell short there by a couple of feet. Wanted to try and get that 3 ball up behind the 9. That needs to bounce a little bit. Not bad. But he's still going to have problems. 7's tied up with the 8. As a result came in. WizKid has beaten Wizard Cheat by 7 racks to 5. Well, if Bedhead can get the cue ball somewhere here, he can pot the 6 and run the cue ball around and try and split the 7 and 8. Well, did he play the 5-9 combo? He probably did. Well, now that 9 ball's in the way to play that shot that I just showed you there, so no way anything's going to happen now, and he's got no angle to get on the 7 from this 6. Now, can he get close enough to be able to play a safety on this 7? I think he's going to struggle to do that as well. And again, needs to watch the in-off in the right middle. He just ran into the jaw. Well, anybody's guess what he does here. Well, off the bottom rail and try and hit that 7 ball full in the face. If he doesn't hit it too hard, he could leave the cue ball close to the 8. If he gets it really full on. Well, he's actually hit it half ball. He's split them. And has he got lucky? Well, he has. No doubt Bedhead will jump that. He needs to watch the pace in this if he's going to jump it, because again, being adjacent to the left hand side rail, it's very likely the cue ball could bounce off the table. Well, he's played it well and he's finished nice on the 8. Wrong angle on it though, but he's got an easy enough pot and plenty of room to get the cue ball up the table. Let's see if he's got a good angle. He's going to have to play a bit of power here. I'm going to try and draw across. Well, he's managed to do it. And a good shot. So Bedhead looks as if he's going to open up a 2-rack lead. Now while Bedhead's breaking off in rack number 11, we'll have a quick look at the bracket, see how things are going. Well, Andre Hagus is tied up 2-all with Larry in round number 2, and Popman, who's getting 5 and out, is trailing 3-1 against Yama, saying he's waiting on the winner of this match. And Wizard Cheat, of course, has just lost to WizKid by 7 racks to 5. Now this is going to need another well-controlled shot to get on this 4. He can come off that right side rail by the 5 ball and come back across between the 5 and the 7. Well, he's played it soft because he got it in the middle. I'll be happy with that. I think he's on it okay. So in goes the 8. Simple enough roll in the 9, and Bedhead's got this match won. And he wins by 7 racks to 4. Right, so we've had 2 or 3 quick matches there. Now what we're going to do is we are going to nip in and join the Andre Hagus match against Larry. Larry leading by 3 racks to 2. Andre, player 1, getting 6 and out. Getting a heavy handicap. And straight away, Andre's got a 1-8 combo here along the rail. Well, that's not nowhere near set. He's going to have to catch the edge of that 8 ball with a 1. What? I thought it might have went in off the 9 there. Well, he's got away with it. All Larry can do is kick at the 1. And hopefully, for him again, he's going to try and hit it full in the face if he can. Leave the cue ball up at the top end, send the 1 down the bottom end. Now 1 ball's ran back up the table, shot on into the middle. These are the tough ones. 2 ball in that corner pocket. And Andre's got to judge the draw off this 2 to at least leave himself a shot in a 3 into a pocket somewhere, and he's under hit that by quite a margin. So now it's a difficult ask here to get this 3 and control the cue ball to get up the table for the 4. He might even play the bank. He's finished the wrong side of the 4, but the 4 does go. The only problem again is he's unlikely to get the cue ball to run clean. He's going to hit that 8 ball if he goes for the 4 into the corner. He's overhit that by quite a margin. So Larry just checking out the 5 ball, make sure it goes past the 9. There's plenty of room there. Remember, Larry's got to get them all. He would have liked that to run another 4 or 5 inches to the left to make it a simpler shot in the 5. With this draw, the cue ball wants to go over to the left hand side, so that's why he's drawn onto the rail, played it with a lot of spin. And how's his angle? Well, there's not a lot there, so he might have to put a bit of top right on this to get the cue ball moving off the rail. Well, again, he's decided against it, and this is relying on Larry pulling out another good cut shot in the 7. So remember, these are all money balls for Andre, and if Larry makes a mistake in this 7, you would think the rack's gone. And he's overcut that, and this, although it's a fair distance, the 7 ball is off that end rail. And this is not a difficult cut. Now, I wonder if Larry got a chance to play that shot again, that he wouldn't have played it with a lot more spin to try and get the cue ball closer to the object ball rather than leaving a long distance cut. And it's too late now because Andre's managed to get the cut and he's squared the match up, 3 racks all. Nothing doing for him in this rack though. And a really thin cut in the 1 for Larry, and the cue ball will do well to avoid hitting something here. Well, he's actually, it's worked out perfect. He's hit the 7, that's killed the cue ball, and he's got a shot in the 2. I'll just get my little plug in. Helps if we can spell. Well, Larry's got a hell of a amount of work to do here. You've got the 6, the 7 and the 9 all in the left hand rail. The 9's the least of his problems because it's off the rail. The other 2 balls are very adjacent to the rail. Of course, the 9's blocking the pocket, and the middle pocket is a hazard if you're going to try and get on that 6 or 7 either side there. So the odds on Larry running out here are fairly slim, and this again getting to the dangerous point in the rack. Once Larry pots this 5 ball, all the remaining balls are all Andre's money balls. So Larry's looking to get it safe. And now we may well get a bit of safety here. There's no point in Andre trying to pot the 5. He's not going to gain anything out of it other than having to maybe play a bank in the 6. Well, that's unfortunate. He's played a good snooker there, but unfortunately he's ended up a good snooker himself. And Mr. Bill has beaten Wizard Cheat. I didn't even know Mr. Bill had lost his first round match. Let's have a look. Andre beat him 7-3. In fact, was I not watching that? I've totally forgotten already. Well, this could be a jump 6-7 combo. I couldn't get any power into it at all. Now this time though, it's now sitting more favourable for Larry. Larry can drop the 6 in. Well, he's trying to play that with left-hand English to try and kill the angle the cue ball was coming off the top cushion, but he maybe had too much pace in it for it to do it. Now he's hooked himself, and this is could be a rack winning chance here for Andre. Well, the 7, is it going to bounce? Well, it's a similar distance off the rail in the like the last rack for Andre, but this time he's much higher angle on it, so he's got to pick that edge in the 7 a bit more carefully. But a chance for the lead. And this time it didn't work out, and now Larry's got the opportunity, and it should be fairly straightforward. And Larry leads 4 racks to 3, breaking off in rack number 8. 2 balls going into the bottom right, 5 balls hanging over the top left, and he's got a thinnish cut into the left middle, and he should have a simple enough shot in the 3. Now Larry's looking to run out here, wide open table. Well, it's a miss, and you can't do those. And the ball's another foot now. Andre's the one that has to pot the 3, pot the 4, pot that 5 up in the top left there, and get the cue ball down to have a shot in the 6. Now the angle is there to bring that cue ball up here off that rail. In fact, it's more likely going to be up that way, but he needs to avoid the 9. He might even come inside the 9. Well, he's played a draw, but he's overdone it. Overdone it by quite a margin, and now he's cutting into a blind pocket. And he needs again to watch the scratch in that left hand middle, because the angle is there for the scratch. If he just runs this plain ball, in fact, even if he puts a bit of draw on it, he's more than likely going to draw into that left hand middle. The middle pocket is very adjacent to the scratch. He's avoided it. He's got the 6. Oh, he almost scratched off the 7, but it doesn't matter. He's all square again, 4 racks each. But that, just to recap again, Larry had a wide open table. He had a shot in the 3 ball. Played an ambitious positional shot to get on the 4. And, well, that's what gave Andre the chance, and Andre took it. Can't ask for any more than that. And Andre's away again here. Now, he's got the same dilemma Larry has. He's got an open table. If he doesn't make a mistake and he gets decent position on these balls, he should have another rack in the board. So, just the 4, the 5 and the 6 again. And this is where you slow down. Now, he does take his time, Andre. And he really... This is a critical point where he would want to do that. Now, has he gone far enough? Yes, he has. So he can now just drop the 5 in dead weight. Just don't do anything exotic. Just drop it in and leave the 6 into the left-hand middle. You can go all the way around and come out for the 6 into the same pocket as a 5, but why do that when you've got a simpler shot? Oh dear. Well, he's got the 5 in, and this should be meat and drink for him, just rolling the 6 in. So, all of a sudden, Andre's got the lead. 5 racks to 4. Now, it's fair enough saying that Andre's got a 6 and out handicap here, but it doesn't matter what handicap you get. What matters is if you can make the most of it, and in those 2 racks, Andre has done exactly that. He's potted the balls and got to his money ball and sunk the money ball. And that's all that Andre needs to do. It's when you put the other things into the equation where you just, you know, they can't get onto another ball and they're struggling, that they don't get any use of the handicap. So Andre's made the most of it. So you can't fault him for that. Yamaguchi Taru has taken out Potman. Now remember, Yama was given Potman a fair handicap there as well. Yama's won 7-2, so he's looking very strong again this week. Now, where's my backup bottle of water? Larry's got a chance here. Again, he's going to have to work for it because the 6 ball's hidden behind the 9 up there. And this is a nasty angle in the 4 as well. Well, let's look at it from Larry's point of view. He's got an angle there. Botman right hand English punches the cue ball this way for a shot in the 6 into that pocket. Now he looks as if he's forcing it through, top and left, to come around and go down. Now, has he missed the 8? No, he hasn't. I think the Botman right would have been a better bet because there was no ball there to block the path to the 6 where there was on the other side. Well, Larry's managed to jump it. Now, can he stop the cue ball for the 8? Again, I need to go up to this end to have a look and see what angle he's got. Oh, he can draw off the 7. It looks as if he's running up. Again, he's preferring to leave the cue ball run away from the object ball and leave these awkward cuts. But he's okay this time. Larry's going to tie the match up. Now, what did he get there? The 5 ball. No shot in the 1. Going to have to dig out the jump stick. He's not bothered. Called the push. Now, you know that if Andre pushed this back, Larry would go for the cut in the 1. I can see that, no problem. That 6 ball is a good guide for making the potting angle in the 1. He's got to do a fair bit of travelling with the cue ball though. Now, again, that was an excellent shot because he played that with a lot of right hand English. As soon as the cue ball hit that bottom rail, instead of going that way, the right hand English sent it that way. So he avoided the traffic there. Could easily have run into the 8 ball. Just skimmed the edge of the 3. Now, what about this 4 ball? Well, it doesn't go past the 7. So the only places he can play it's into this bottom pocket here as we look. That middle pocket or that pocket there at the top end. So he's got the top side of the 4. And this is still not cut and dried because again, the 6 ball's not in a perfect place from the angle that he has in the 4. Don't know whether he can stun off the 4 and leave. Yeah, he can. Stunned off it to leave it into the left middle, but he's missed the 4 ball. So Andre has to get the 4 and somehow get himself a shot in the 6 to win the rack. Now, he doesn't want to get too cute with this 4 ball and chicken out on it. He needs to go for it full-blooded. Oh, he just got it, and what a kiss in the 6 ball. Got a nice kiss in the 6. Just pick the angle and hit the 6 and get it into the pocket. And in it goes. So once again, this time Larry's made the mistake, and once again, Andre's taking his chance. Now the 7 ball's gone in, and unfortunately for Andre, the cue ball's also gone in. So here's Larry with ball in hand. 7 ball gets respotted because it's a money ball, and we're playing with spot money on. And Larry had a wee look at the 2-9 combo. That was nowhere near on. And I think he's going to try and run into these here because the 2 ball's not sitting in any position to pot it. He's trying to get accurate on it, and he's neither here nor there. And I think the angle now doesn't allow him to pot it into this bottom left. He's got to play it into the bottom right and draw into the 9, and he should be on the 3, so it all hinges on him getting this 2 ball. Well, has he gone far enough? Yes, he has. You can just see the 3. And he's going to have to work again here to go on the 4. And you see now he's playing it into the right middle. The cue ball's running again. So each shot here, Larry's got work to do to get on to the next ball. And that 8 ball could be a player in this rack here. He's got to let this cue ball come up the table, and either way he's going to end up having maybe a nasty cut in the 5. Can he spin in behind the 8? Is he gone far enough again? I think he has this time as well. Yep. Good shot. Oh dear. Well, where's he going with the cue ball? Well, that's a disaster. And Larry's making the mistakes at the wrong time here. Now, Andre has ball in hand. The only thing against it is, once again, the 5 ball's buried in the pocket. So this is all about the pace. And he's left himself really not very well played on this 6. But if he can cut it into the middle, he's home and dry. And he's played it long, and he gets it, and Andre wins the match by 7 racks to 5. So Larry's going to have to do all his hard work on the 1 loss side for the rest of the tournament. And let's see how that stands. So Yamaguchi Taru was waiting on the winner of that match, and Yama is going to be probably giving Andre 6 and out or 5 and out in this match coming up. And it's 6 and out again. And meanwhile, Seni is playing Bedhead. Bedhead's leading by 5 racks to 2. And I think that's pretty much it. We've got Magicu playing Potman in the 1 loss side. Potman's up 2-0. Larry's sitting waiting on the winner of that match. And Wizard Cheat Sorry, Bill has beaten Wizard Cheat. So Bill's waiting there on Z Karaoke. And Z Karaoke's waiting on a loser from this side to fill that space in the bracket. So there's quite a bit to go yet in this. So it's going to be back in to see how Yamaguchi Taru deals with Andre Hagus. Yama's hooked in the 2. You'd expect him to kick it because he's good at picking the angles. And that's a great shot. That's a superb shot. Perfect. Kicked right in behind the 2, punched it up the table, and the cue ball's dead in behind the 9. And Andre had Yama in a lot of trouble there, but he can certainly pick those angles to kick the balls. And now Yama's going to come to the table with ball in hand. Now, Yama's obviously busy doing something here because he's not lined up the 2 ball. Is he looking at the 2-9 combo? You're going to have to play it now. Well, that's a strange shot by Yama. Strange from the point of view that with all the balls in the open, you would have expected him to try and run the table. It's a strange one as to why he didn't go for it. I mean, it looked easier to run the table than it did to play a long distance 2-9 combo. And again, the speed that he played that there, he could have left the 9 over the pocket. But straight away, Andre's got himself in trouble playing the 2-3 combo. Again, he's not drawn the cue ball away from the 2 to give himself a shot. He's now got no shot in the 2. He needs to get this nice and thin. And he got too much weight in that shot. I think he's left a cut on here for Yama. Well, the 4's blocked into this pocket by the 8 ball. So it's going to have to be a good positional shot to have a shot in the 4. And he's going to have it into the middle. And just be a dead weight shot into the middle because he's going to be on the 5. Well, chose to punch it in, and that's what makes the shot more difficult. Could have rolled that towards the far jaw, and the 4 ball would have still dropped in the pocket. So even though this is a thin cut, it's still a chance for Yama, for Andre. And we saw what he did in his last match. He had 2 or 3 chances and he took them all. Is that going to get there? Yes, it is. How's his luck in the 5 though? I don't think he's there. He's hooked. Now he's got problems. And I think is he too close to jump that? Might jump over the 5. Oh, again, well played. Once again, no, he's going to have to play another good shot. What does he do? Well, if he was going to play a bank, he'd have to make the bank because it's not a good banking angle. So it's a straightforward roll into the middle. He's overcut it, but he's got away with it. He'll settle for that any day. So this rack could go anyway. Oh well, that's a bit of good fortune you need. A good kick there by Yama, and he's left Andre stuck behind the 7. Now Andre needs to be careful here. I thought he might bank it up near the 9. Has his 8 ball come to his rescue? No, it hasn't. So Andre's chance might have gone in this opening rack. It started already, folks. The old body's in shutdown mode. Oh dear, what's happened here? Oh, avoided a scratch by a hair's breadth, so he did. So it's Yamaguchi Taru who's going to take the first rack. A dry break. The 1 ball's hanging over the middle pocket. Now, the problem here is that 5 ball. The cue ball's going to have to hit the 5. And this is where you have to ride your luck to try and get a shot in the 2. And where the 2 is, it's going to be a difficult one. Well, Andres played that all wrong. Tried to somehow sneak behind the 5 to leave himself the shot in the 2, and all he's done is he's hooked himself. So a tight one to jump over, but again he's got away with it. I think he has. Let's have a look. No, Yama can see it, and what's more, he can actually pot it. And another result came in. Bedhead has beaten Seni. And Seni goes to the 1 lost side. Bedhead winning by 7 racks to 3. Well, Yama's overcooked that one. This is going to be after a very thin 5 ball. Extremely thin. With enough power and pace as he can to get it to go to the pocket. And it's just crept in. I think you'll see him rolling through in the 7 off the left side rail, bottom rail, and over to the right side rail. Just a little punch down the rail to get the cue ball off the rail and out. So Yamaguchi Taru into a 2-rack lead. I think another good safety shot's what's required here from Andre. Send that 1 ball back over between the 6 and the 9 and bring the cue ball down towards the 2, or at least the bottom rail anyway. You could go for the cut in the 1, you should still have a shot in the 2, but it's not an easy cut to read. Well, I don't know what he tried there, but all he's done is given Yama a 1-9 combo, and it could be 3-0 any second now. And in it goes. So, whatever Andre tried there, it certainly didn't work out. Dry break for Yama. Wrong side of the 1 ball for Andre, but you can play it with a lot of left-hand English, but didn't get enough power into it, so he's short on the position in the 2 ball, and he's hooked. Simple enough kick though. I think there's a gap there. Yeah, Andre can get between them. Now, can he get a snooker in return for Yama? Yes, he can. Easy kick again for Yama though. Between the 6 and the 8 ball. He can get the cue ball in there, I think. Well, oh, he did. Got it clean. Well, a good bank in the 3 there for Andre, but unfortunately he's got no shot in the 4. He's looking for a gap that might not be there between the 5 and the 7. Yep, that was never on. So Yamaguchi Taru 3-0 up and ball in hand. Again, a little punchy shot. Get the cue ball moving. Now he's actually gone a wee bit straighter than he would like on this 7 ball, so once again it's a choice. He can punch it in or he can just draw back slightly, leave the 8 into the right hand corner. He's punched it in as hard as he could. So it's Yamaguchi Taru who's going to take a 4-0 lead against Andre Hagus. And Andre needs something to happen here if he's going to stay in this match. 5 balls going in off the break. Yama's got a shot in the 1 and it might not be happening because Yama's got the shot. He can get on the 2. The 3's in the side rail on the right hand side, but the 4's over the left hand top pocket. Well, it's a pretty straight shot in the two he's got here, but I think he can again. He can force it in with a bit of top right. Doesn't need an awful lot of power. He just does not want to leave himself dead straight in the three down the rail. So he's avoided that. He's playing it at distance, so he's going to have to probably play the four at distance as well. And just leave the cut on the four. Cue ball just come out here. Got to keep this tight to the rail though. Again, playing it with a bit of power, and he's done it well. And Potman has beaten Magic Q in the one lost side by 4 racks to 2. And again, Yama has judged the pace on that 6 ball pretty good. But what's he going to do with the 7? 7 doesn't go past the 9. He could roll through for the 7-9 combo, because he's not got a lot of angle to work with on this 6 ball, and that's probably the best he can do here. He might be playing the big draw to come off the bottom rail and back out into the table. That's what he's done. Once again, he's leaving himself the long shot in the 7. And all that Andre can do is just sit and pray that he gets a chance. Well, this isn't an ideal angle on the 8. Deep draw to avoid colliding into the 9, and off the rail and out for the 9, provided he gets the 8, which he's done clean. And it's looking very ominous now for Andre. Z Karaoke is still in the tournament. He's beaten Senate by 4 racks to 0 on the one lost side. So the tournament's well underway. We've been going for an hour and a half or so, or just over that. Yama's broke dry, left Andre a shot in the 1. Now, can Andre get on this 2 and get himself moving here? He needs something, and the only way you can get something to happen is to do it yourself. You can't rely on Yama making mistakes. And straight away Andre's not played a good shot positional wise, so the best thing to do is to try and play safe, and he's not done that. And this is just falling into Yama's hands here. Okay, he's got a Chinese snooker over the 7 ball, but he's got a good angle on the 2 should he pot it to go over for the 3. Not a good shot choice there by Andre, trying that elaborate cut. He should have played a good safety, would have been much better. And when Yama's getting the luck as well, he's kissed into the 3, he's opened it out, and he's got the angle there as well to punch the 3 in. In fact, he's maybe not got enough angle. Well, he's done his best and he's got it. Now, is it a little roll through between the gap? And he's perfect again. Well, this is the only shot here that can go wrong. The cut back into a blind pocket, and he's got to get the cue ball behind the 9, and again played good weight on it. What's the angle like? Let's see. Well, that's pretty good. Just a little stun, sitting nicely on the 9, and Yama's sitting on the hill, and Andre, all he's got is a big round bagel next to his name. Well, it's another dry break for Yama. And this time, Andre might be getting desperate. He might be going for the 1-6 combo here. Well, this time it was worked out, played it well, and he's off the mark. At least he's got something in the scoreboard. And he needs another quick one if he can. 3 balls going in, something else went in, and the 2 balls going in as well. So we've lost the 2, the 3, and the 4 ball. And Andre's, well, he's got half a shot in the 1. A thin cut across the table into the middle. Not easy. And Andre knows that if he misses this and leaves Yama a shot in the 1, the match is over. And that's a good shot because Andre's under pressure. But he's got to hold it together to get this 5 and not roll through too hard and leave himself a shot in the 6. I don't think the angle's there to hold that. He's got to run through and he needs to avoid hitting the 7. I don't know whether he can hold for the 6. I would think he has to come off with the bottom rail here and go back up for the 6. Well, that's why he's tried to play it long, but look where he finished on the 6. No shot. Yama's the wrong side of the 6 here. He'll be okay though if he leaves the higher cut in the 7. And I think this match is all over. And Yama Guchitaru is looking far too strong. So a simple enough roll in the 9 and Yama wins the match by 7 racks to 1. Right, so the bracket should be taking good shape now. Let's have a look. And Yama's already been updated in the bracket. And we've got Bedhead playing WizKid. WizKid getting 5 and out, and WizKid's leading by 3 racks to 2. And what other matches have we got going on? Well, we've got Larry still waiting on a player. Sorry, Larry's playing Potman. Potman's getting 6 and out. Potman's already up by 1 rack to 0. And Bill is playing Z Karaoke. And it's a scratch match in the 1 loss side. And Bill's up by 1 rack to 0. So let's join that one. Well, has Bill got lucky here? I don't think he has. Z Karaoke can just drop the 7 in, leave himself the cut in the 8. Well, I think the safest thing to do here is to let the cue ball run up and leave the 9 into the middle. Because the cue ball does want to go in that direction. Well, I think Z Karaoke's chickened out there. He's tried to play the delicate shot to hold for the 9 into the top right, and it's backfired. Oh dear, well, it's catching. Bill's made a right hash of that one, and Z Karaoke is not going to get any better gifts than what he's got here. Where's this cue ball running this time? And it's running pretty good. And having said that though, it's one of those nasty cuts. He's close to the 9. He's got to pick out that potting angle and just go for it. And this time he gets it, so we're all square. Now remember, we're on the 1 loss side, and it's a race to 4. So Z Karaoke breaking off on rack number 3. And it's a dry break. Now can Bill see the 1? He can see it to pot it, certainly, and he's found a gap. Sitting nice in the 2. And it looks like a straightforward draw back up the table. And that's a good angle in the 3. Can come up the table, leave the 4 into the same pocket the 3's going in. Now he can kill the cue ball, roll the 5 in, roll the 6 into the left middle, and he's got the 7 into the bottom right. Now again, Bill's playing this at distance. Got to judge the pace. And you leave the long 9. Should be straightforward enough though. And he needs to be careful if he's running through, because that cue ball could drop into the right middle pocket. No, he's fine. So that's a quick rack back into the lead. 2-1. And the 1 ball's gone in. Look at the mess at the top end of the table. Well, Bill needs to get high on the 4. I don't know whether there's a good enough angle to do it, but he wants to get the cue ball down to here so he can pot the 4 and draw into the 9 and the 5. And I think he's got the angle. He's finished on the line, and the angle's there to do it. Needs a bit of luck. Well, he'll take that. He's got the shot on the 5, but he's going to have no shot in the 6 at all, other than a thin edge off it, and try and keep distance between the 2. He might, if he missed it, yeah, I don't know whether he can play the billiard. Let's have a look. He might be able to. If he hits the 6 full in the face, he could catch the edge of the 7 and brush the 7 into the pocket. That's what he tried, and he might be okay. It's gone fairly safe. Now what does Z Karaoke do? Bank the 6 off the side rail down to the bottom rail, put the cue ball back towards the 9. Or does he go for the cut? Well, he's went the other way and actually billiarded the 9 in. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. We'll say he played that as a good shot. And it's now 2-all. And just a reminder as well, this is a scratch match, no handicap. Well, that almost worked out there. Jump onto the 1. Almost cut it in off the 9. Well, Z Karaoke didn't really get much of a position in the 2, but he's got a good chance for a safety though. Has he got away with that one? So yes, he has. Where's the 3 ball going? That's handy. Not only that, he still finished on the 2. Bill getting a little bit of the run in there. All part of the game of 9 ball. It's not the fact that you get the luck and you get the pot, it's what you do after you get that. He's still got these balls to clear. Well, off the right hand rail, left hand rail. Well, he's played it soft enough, managed to hold it. And an easy 9 into the middle for a 3-2 lead. And the break in rack number 6. Well, I think 3 balls have gone in there, 1 each into the top pockets and 1 into the bottom right. So we've lost the 6, the 7 and the 8. And he's got a shot in the 1. Well, I think he was paying too much attention to the 2 ball there and he's missed the 1. So here is Z Karaoke's chance. He's got to take it. He needs to avoid the 4 ball and the 5 to get the cue ball up for the 2. Well, I don't think, has he hit that enough? Well, he's still got a shot. And he's got an angle. Again, if he avoids a 9, and he should have plenty of room there to avoid a 9, to get back up here for the 3, or back down for the 3 as we look. Well, again, I think Z Karaoke's chickened out. He hasn't gone through in the shot. He's left the 2 hanging over the pocket and didn't get the cue ball anywhere near the 3. Oh well, stranger things happen. And that's what I say about balls that are buried into the pocket. You can only draw away from them, and the angle that Bill had, he was only ever drawn into the middle pocket. Now this isn't over yet, because Z Karaoke has got to drop right in behind that 5 ball as straight as he can, really. He needs to stun this 4 in just to to drop along that rail. And that's pretty good. Just a simple roll through, get the cue ball just past that middle pocket, and he should be sitting straight in the 9. So it's going all the way. Going to a final rack decider. And Z Karaoke is going to have the break. I think he's scratched, has he? Yes, he has. That's what you don't want to do. And it's ball in hand for Bill. And Bill will be taking his time here. Well, again, I don't know whether Bill had a pocket to put that one in, but he's tried to tie Z Karaoke up. And he's managed to do that. There's a result came in. Bedhead has beaten WizKid by 7 racks to 3. Well, look at that. 3 balls knocked the 8 ball away, and Z Karaoke is sitting nice on the 2. But he's running away from the 3. And that was always a problem. Far too much traffic at the top end of the table, and he's now hooked in the 3. So he needs this jump shot to work out. He needs to get it safe somehow. That's all he's hoping. And he's managed to cut the 3. An excellent jump. But again, no position in the 4. But he's got an opportunity for a safe. He can come off there. Cue ball over here. Send the 4 down here. Well, stranger things happen, don't they? He's went for the bank. And then he's nudged the 6 in, and he's finished right up against the 4. How would that look for the angle he's got? I think he's far too close to make the cut, is he? I think he is. How's his luck? Well, his luck's no good this time. Bill's got a chance to win the match, and there's another result come in, and Larry has been beaten by 4 racks to 2 by Popman, and Popman making the use of his handicap. Let's have a quick look at that result. Popman was getting 6 and out, so that was a heavy handicap. So Larry was always going to be up against it with a race to 4. And meanwhile, Bill sitting on the 7. Now, has he rolled through far enough in the 8? Yes, he has. He can just roll straight through off the side rail and drop down onto the bottom rail on the 9, and that's perfect. So Bill marches on the 1 lost side, and he wins the match by 4 racks to 3. So there's quite a bit of updating on the bracket. That match will update in a second or two. Let's get back to the bracket. And Bill is now going to play Andre Hagus on the 1 lost side. And Popman is starting his next match against WizKid. Meanwhile, if I can get this bracket to stop bloody moving about, we'll see that Yamaguchi Taru is about to play Bedhead, and Bedhead is getting a 6 ball as his extra money ball. Now, you would say that Bedhead is probably, looking at the matches that Yama has had, Bedhead is probably the strongest player that Yama's had to play tonight. And so we'll see if Bedhead takes his chances. So they're just in the end of the first rack. So remember, Bedhead is player 2. He's getting a 6 ball as the extra money ball. But he's not going to get many chances at that if Yama just keeps playing the way he's played so far tonight. And that's a good tight safety. Now in this situation we've seen Yama playing deliberate fouls to try and tie balls up to make it difficult. He's likely to do that and concede ball in hand and force the opponent to try and run out. So he's given it a fair bit of thought. Let's see what he does. Again, he's got the hit and he's got it safe. Hats off to the guy. He's certainly catching the right sides of these balls here when he's kicking them, and he's getting them safe. Now, Efra and Reyes themselves would be happy with shots like that. But Bedhead responds. And I would say that's pretty safe. Now, can Yama just catch the one? Yes, he can. Now, if Bedhead can come off the edge of the 1 and actually miss the 4 and the 9, he could leave Yama tied up here. And if he misses the 8, well, let's have a look. Well, I don't think there's any way he's hitting the 1 ball this time. And that's buried in between the 6 and the 3. So he's going for the kick. And he might have to create the angle here with a bit of right hand English. Again, that's worked out pretty good. So in goes the 1. A big gap there to get on this 3 ball through that window there, or if he goes too far from that position, doesn't want to hook himself behind any of those 2 balls. So he's gone the wide side, avoided the in off. And should be on the 4 ball without any problems. Needs to get high in the 4 though, because the 5 ball's in the top rail. Let's have a look. Well, he's just going to have to roll this in. Not a lot of pace on it, just to leave himself the shot in the 5. Played it with right hand English just to check it in the rail. Stop it running away from the 5. So remember, Bedhead getting a 6 ball as the extra money ball. Just needs to roll this in. And it's 1-all. So just a reminder, folks, for those watching, if you all know my situation on a Friday night, unfortunately, with the clocks being on British summertime, the tournament starts an hour later than it normally does. It starts at 8 PM BST rather than 7 PM as it does in winter time. And when it starts an hour later, unfortunately, the tournament very often encroaches into my bedtime. I have to be in bed by 10:30, up at 4 AM every Saturday morning, and that means that looking at the clock, I've got about 25 minutes left before I have to pull the plug. And this may well be the last match of the tournament for me, I'm afraid. So, Yamaguchi Taru on the 4 ball. Balls all sitting there for the taking. And this is where he needs a good controlled shot to get on the 6. Never easy at this distance, and the angle he's got off the 5. Well, he's left that short. Got the high cut in the 6. But the cue ball's going to come back up for the 7 ball into the right middle, so there shouldn't be any problems in that score. The only problem is he's running away from the 8. Cue ball can go that way and come up here. That was the natural path the cue ball was going to take to get on the 8. So Yama into the lead. 2 racks to 1. Soft break gives him the 1 ball into the left middle. Now how's his luck in this 2? Let's have a look. Well, I think he might be able to squeeze the 2 in. He might be able to drag the cue ball just around the edge of that 4. Yeah, got it clean enough. And he's got a shot in the 3. Now, there is a problem he's going to have to deal with on the right hand side of the table. That's 6 and 8 ball. But he could certainly billiard the 8 ball in if it came to it. But he could also move the 6 and 8 when he plays a shot in the 5. And the 5's only going to go in from that side, obviously. So if he got about there, he could nudge into those 2 balls and move them. So let's see how Yama deals with that. But the only thing is he's got to deal with this 4 ball first of all. He's in no shape in the 4. So he's decided, rather than taking any risks, let's play it safe. The same thing for Bedhead here. He's got a simple enough bank on the 4 to bank it up behind the 5 and the 6. But if he plays that shot and he doesn't get any pace in the cue ball, he could find himself in trouble in a minute. Well, he's got it safe. 5 balls, the snooker and ball. And WizKid has beaten Potman by 4 racks to 0. No doubt WizKid was getting the heavy handicap in that match. Just feather the edge of the 4, push it behind the 5. Cue ball into the middle of the table. Got that a wee bit thicker than he wanted. He's exposed the 4 ball and not put any pressure on Yama there. That's a good one. Well, Bedhead is going to find himself stuck against that 9 ball in a second or two. Well, it didn't work out for Yama. He's nudged off the 9. Again, left a full ball for Bedhead to see. Now he's checked that cue ball there with left, let me think about it. Yeah, left hand English to push it in behind a 7. But we know how good Yama is at kicking at balls. He might even pot this 4. He's going to have no shot in the 5 though. 5 tied up with a 6. And that's now changed. Yama's got the hit in the 4, but he's opened up the 5. So this is a chance for Bedhead. He's trailing 2-1. And use the 9 as a little stopper. And could just roll through behind the 6. And he's got that little angle in the 6 as well, but it's not enough, I don't think. He's going to have to... Oh, I'm forgetting he only needed a 6 ball as his money ball. Forgotten again. I was wondering why he didn't play in the 7 there, and then I realised. This time Bedhead's broke off, came up dry, left a 1 ball over the pocket. Well, this is a toughie for Yama. Again, the cue ball's going to be heading in the right direction to go on the 3. Well, this time Yama's kind of underhit it by quite a margin. Would have left himself the thin cut in the 3. So let's see if Bedhead can punish him. And he's more than capable of doing it. So this could end up being Yama's biggest test tonight so far. And straight away, Bedhead's gone straight in the 3. No, he's got an angle. I thought he was dead straight. So he can get the cue ball out for the 4 into the same pocket if he wants. he's underhit that. I mean, I presume he's decided to leave the 4-9, but I thought he would have played for the 4 into the same pocket. He's got to get this now. And that's what happens. And he's going to scratch, and it's backfiring on him. Well, I think he'd have been, again, better going for the run out when you've got the balls in the open. Well, when I say in the open, does that 7 ball go past the 9? Yes, it does. It certainly looks as if it squeezes past. Well, Yama's taking his time and having a good look at it. Again, he needs to get a move on here because he's on to his extension, and he's going to end up having to rush a shot at the end here. Now, what's he planning here? Is he going to try and nudge into this 7 and get lucky in the 6? It's a risky shot to take if that's what he's planning. Well, he's took the risk, and it's backfired, and that's the problem when you're trying to move a ball. When you're not playing the immediate ball before it, he should have played that off the 6 itself to move the 7. That's the danger in playing that shot. He's now got himself stuck behind the 8 ball, and he's again made a great effort at kicking the 6, but this time it's not gone safe. So here is Bedhead's chance, and you really feel he's got to take it this time. And he's done it. So Bedhead into the lead. 7 ball goes into the bottom right, 8 ball goes into the top left. He's got a shot in the one into the... Well, has he got a shot? Because that looks far too thin to cut. Yeah, I think it's too thin to cut into the middle, but you can certainly cut it into the other, the bottom left-hand pocket as we look. And the only danger here is either scratching in the middle or hooking himself behind the 4. So he's actually avoided that with a little bit of English. So the ball that's going to cause the problem, we know where it is. It's sitting there. Now here's a similar situation here for Bedhead. He can pot the 3, and he might even be able to squeeze the angle to try and bump into the 5, but he's then relying on luck to have a shot in the 4, and it might not be a good angle he leaves himself, so it's risky to take that chance now. And surely he's not going to fall into the same trap that Yama had in his last visit. And Bedhead hasn't done that. But he's got an angle off this 4 ball. Try and drop in behind the 5. It needs to bounce. Well, he hasn't even got a potting angle there, I don't think, has he? Can he see enough of that? Surely not. Oh, he's managed to cheat the pocket. Well, he needs another good one here on this 6. This for the rack, and he's overcut it. Always a tough shot, that. Oh dear, well, there's the first big mistake by Yama tonight. Left a 9-ball hanging, and that could be a crucial mistake. It's now 4-2 to Bedhead, and Bedhead's breaking off on rack number 7. Well, you don't see that very often. Yama maybe rushed into that one, and again, it has to be said, it's very late at night and it's very early in the morning for Yama. It's 20 minutes past 10 here, but it's got to be about 6 AM Yama's time. Bedhead has got no shot on the 1 and decided to play the deliberate foul. Tried to tie the 2 and the 3 up, but he's not achieved that. In fact, the 2 goes past the 3 down the rail. Now is Yama going for the pot? Yes, he is. Lots of right hand spin into the gap and sitting very nicely on the 4. Well, can Yama redeem himself and reduce the deficit? And there's another result for Mr. Bill. Mr. Bill has beaten Andre Hagus by 4 racks to 3. Let's have a quick look at that in the bracket. And Bill is going to play WizKid, and WizKid is getting 6 and out. Oh, that just crept in. Still needs another good one off this 8-ball. So Yama gets one back after that bad miss in the previous rack on the 9-ball. Trailing still by 1 rack. 1 ball's going into the middle in the soft break. He's got a shot in the 2. Now, how's his position going to be in the 3? Well, he can only go forward. And I don't see whether he can force enough into this shot to get the cue ball over to the left for the 3. No, there's no way he can do it. But it cuts. Cuts into the left hand pocket. You squeeze it past the 4. And what about the 5? Well, the 5 is fine as long as he gets that gap. And once again, perfect. And he just needs to sort of cut that into the pocket with a little bit of, maybe just a little bit of right. Well, he stunned it, kept his distance from the 6, didn't want to risk hitting the 6. Again, this is another awkward one. It's an awkward little cut. Cue ball be going that way. I'll get my lines right here. And that's perfect. So Yamaguchi coming back strong. Was trailing 4-2. He's now tied the match back up at 4-all. Five ball goes in. And once again though, he's now a shot in the one. That's a great shot. Lots of English on it to spin around the angles to get back up for the two. Well, he should be going that side of the four, leaving the four into that corner. Three ball just drops in. And it looks that he doesn't have to do a lot with the cue ball here. He just has to cut that four. Cue ball's going to go there and back up here for the six. Unless he plays it with English and sends the cue ball that way, but that's by far the more risky shot to take. Yep. And now, has he gone far enough? Well, this is the tester. He's just dropping in behind it. And he's left a little angle. So this is a strong comeback here by Yama. Well, we'll use an old cliche here. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. And there's no doubt about that here with Yama. 4-2 down. A bad miss on the 9 ball. Hung it up to go 4-2 down. And since then, Bedheads had nothing to do but sit there and watch. So Yama goes into the lead. 5 racks to 4. Now can this soft break work for him again? Well, the 1 ball's gone safe on the right hand rail. He's come up dry, but he's left nothing for Bedhead. Bedhead plays the push out. Yama pushes it back. Now, is he going for the cut? No. He's trying to leave it safe. But he's left it exposed. The 1 goes. He can make the potting angle. And he's not going to have any shot in the 2 though. Well, he tried the billiard off the 1 onto the 9, a bit ambitious, but worth the risk considering the 2 was tied up. Let's try to tuck this 2 ball up behind the 4 and the 8, I think. Well, he's underhit that. Could be in a bit of trouble here, Bedhead. He certainly is now. Let's see if he can get to that too. Yes, he can. Bank onto it. He's not got to a rail. So ball in hand for Yama. 4 balls out of commission because it's blocked by the 8, so he might have to play the 4-8 combo. Well, we're now beyond my bedtime, folks. We're hanging on to see if we can see the result in this match. And there's another result come in. Mr. Bill has very quickly dealt with WizKid and has won by 4 racks to 1. Let's see that one. So Bill now sitting on the loser side final. And he is waiting on the loser of this match. And this is a hot seat match to see who gets into tonight's final. So it's a 5-7 combo. And Yama's got to get the cue ball back down the table as we look. And he's played it perfect. Kept that distance from the 5 ball to leave himself a shot. And he's going to have to pull out another good one. It's going to be a 6-8 combo in a minute. If he can get straight on it. Well, he's made a good effort at it. That's pretty good. But that's the only thing that could go wrong. Now, can he get the edge on that 6 to cut it? Yes, he can. And he's got perfect pace to get the cut in the 5. So from 4-2 down, Yama has forced his way back into this match by basically not missing anything since he missed that 9 ball. He's now sitting on the hill, leading 6-4. He's had a dry break. And Bedhead's got a shot in the 1. You can't stress how important this is for Bedhead, that he doesn't make a mistake. They're all there. They've all got pockets. It's just a matter of getting on them. And he's gone too far, has he? Oh dear. Well, he's going to have to jump that to make the pot in the two. And then, of course, the problem you've got is controlling the cue ball while he's off the table. And dare I say it, as I've said it before, that may well be Bedhead's last shot in this match. And he's been frozen out for the last 4 racks since going into the lead. And not unexpected that he was going to do something to get himself out of shape. Well, Yama couldn't avoid hitting the 7, so he's left himself at distance. Should still be able to run through and come back up the table for the 6. Now, what's that angle like? Well, easy enough. Just roll through past the 9. Don't hook yourself. Well, it's going to be around the table with the cue ball for the final 9. And it goes, and that was a very strong comeback by Yamaguchi Taru. 4-2 down and won the next 5. Very strong to win the match by 7 racks to 4. Well, folks, we've got one final look at the bracket. We'll see that Bedhead is going to be playing Mr. Bill to see who gets into the final. It's either Bedhead going to be trying for revenge against Yama in the race to 9 final, or it's going to be Mr. Bill. But unfortunately, that has gone beyond my bedtime, so I have to say thanks for watching, and I will bid you a good night, folks, and we'll see you again sometime.